On this episode, Indy and I get a ton, and I mean a ton, of visitors. Hey everybody, this is Gary Vay, Nerd Chuck, and this is episode 191 of the Ask Gary V Show. It is loaded on the show today. A whole bunch of peeps joining us on a very fun influencer entrepreneur show. One of the chapters in my book. First, Vayner Nation, thank you so much for keeping me company on my 11-hour trip to Sydney, Australia. Big ups to everybody down in Sydney. I had a lot of fun. Cleveland, you guys too, St. Louis, Boston, Atlanta. It's been a very busy week, ladies and gents.
Sounds like it.
India, we missed you. D-Rock, missed you too. When you figured out how to miss your plane. That hurt. Stefan, great to see you. Nick, good to see you, man, over there. Why don't you guys first introduce yourselves, and then Indy and I will start the show. Why don't we start with the ladies?
Awesome. My name is Sarah Dici, rhymes with Peachy. I am a filmmaker, photographer, YouTuber, and professional internetter.
And how'd you get here? Because I think it's a great story.
Yeah. So basically, I made a viral video around a filmmaker and YouTuber called Casey Neistat. He featured me in his vlog the next day after I made the video. And I knew I've been watching your stuff for about a year, and the first person I emailed was Gary. And the subject line was "Girl from Casey Neistat video." And so I was like, let's do this, Gary. Let's collab.
Quick moving. Yeah. Awesome. It's great to have you here. So what happened for everybody from the story? How many subscribers did you have? How much after the Casey shout out?
So I went from 4,000 subscribers to 100,000 subscribers, probably today.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm right at 99,000 right now.
Vayner Nation.
Come on,
Look it up.
Somebody. So yeah.
Be sleepy.
Yep, in 2 weeks.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank
Where
you.
Are you from?
Originally from Dallas, Texas, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Love it. Yep. All right.
I am Lauren Everett. I'm from The Skinny Confidential. It's a blog and book, and now a podcast. And I'm really excited to be here. I've been a blogger for 5 years.
Awesome. Where do you live?
San Diego and LA. We kind of go both ways.
My name's Michael Bostic. I'm Lauren's better half, worse half?
No,
Fiance.
worse.
Kind of the behind the scenes business half of her blog, which is crushing it.
How did it start?
So I started when I was a bartender. I was teaching beer bar. I was broke as a joke. And
As a joke, India.
It was bad.
Do you know how broke you are when you're a joke, India? Really broke.
Pretty broke.
Really broke.
Started blogging, was a blogger for free for 2 years, just continued to create value and content like you always say, and just love it. It's my passion, and I've been doing it ever since.
What was your what was the thing that kind of started, like, did you have a break? What was the first moment that you got an interesting bump?
It's honestly, there's no epiphany. It's like such a slow build. There's nothing where I woke up
You
and
don't
I was
say.
like, oh my
No,
God.
you had it. I mean,
Yeah,
you had
you
your
had
moment.
it. Yeah, I
And,
didn't have
by the way,
anything.
I had Conan, when I went on Conan 07 as a YouTuber, that was unheard of. The entire internet was like, whoa. Like a YouTuber on television? It was like, it's so crazy to think.
I think to do something like this, you kind of just, like you said, she loves it, and
Slow build.
it's been a slow, there's never been like a moment she's been doing it every single day.
Where did you start where did like the content start living?
The content's on the blog, and that's my mothership,
Yeah.
and like the blog.
Was Instagram a big thing for you?
Instagram's big, but Instagram's fleeting, and everything that's just started to happen with it, like in my opinion, like
You're sad about the algorithm.
I'm not sad because I'm into Snapchat, so I don't give. Can I cuss?
No.
Okay. No, I don't really give a shit about that. I mean, Snapchat is where like I'm focusing my attention. So
Yes.
Instagram, I'm just kind of like whatever. I mean, I still push that, but it's not my like favorite thing.
Right. And what else?
What else? Well, we're doing a podcast. It's the Skinny Confidential, him and her podcast. We're getting a male perspective. We're talking one night stands.
That's me.
Awesome.
His perspective's really rude, but it's
His perspective on one night stands it's phenomenal.
Oh, you saw it?
No, but it's every dude's answer to that question. Like, that's a pretty universal point of view.
So we're doing that. We're doing YouTube.
You're down on that?
I'm fine. I want him to give advice to women instead of men. I feel like there's so many people out there.
I see. You're giving advice to women.
I'm not. Yeah, that sounds funny. No, I think I'm just giving a male perspective on, like, so she'll get an audience, she'll submit questions, and I don't think there's a lot of men responding in an authentic way.
Right. They're bullshitting. They're saying
They have a Ferrari.
right. Stefan's always like, no, I hate it because he's trying to be a gentleman, but deep down, when everybody leaves, he tells D-Rock, he's like, I love it.
My whole thing is
Like, you mean that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of bullshit guys on the internet right now, and to have
No, good news. There's a lot of bullshit guys, period.
You're right.
Okay, yeah.
Guys are bullshit. But he gives like
It's
a
not
really.
bullshit. It's that guys are wired a certain way. It's just chemicals. You can't be mad at him. He's a hunter.
He is a hunter, but he needs to rein it in and start giving advice to these girls about
India,
hunters.
what do you think about all this?
We should get into the show.
All right, so the show. So what do we got? We have 3 questions, and then you two are going to ask a question, right? Okay, let's do it, India.
Jonathan asks, would you say there is such a thing as a viral formula to make things spread?
So my point of view on this is that, it's funny, this is a good time, Stefan, I know you'll be editing. Link up the 60 years, 6 minutes for 60 years video. In the opening line of that video, I say that the video is gonna go viral. I don't think there's a formula for going viral. I really don't, because if there was, then there would be more people that could do it 40, 50, 100 times. I think there's concepts. There's concepts over here, which is you goat or bait or get the attention of somebody who's got a humongous audience. You bring them value in some way or do something unique, because everybody's doing that to Casey. And she clearly did something that was stronger, better, more interesting, or just a moment in time. D-Rock was the 1,000th person that emailed me and said, I want to make videos for you. At that moment, I was ready. I was open for it. It worked. So it's a timing thing sometimes. So there's going after a bigwig to put you on, what Dr. Dre did for Snoop. Right? It's a very common thing in the rap game. You give somebody a verse, it's a big song, they're a big artist, boom, the game changes. That happens in influencer marketing. There's what I did with the 6 minutes for 60 years. When I made that video, I knew that I was making it for 30 to 60-year-old entrepreneurs, so I targeted 30 to 60-year-olds on Facebook who were also into Shark Tank and other entrepreneurial things, which gave it the match to get it going. So I think Facebook ad targeting for video, and I think influencer marketing, putting them on, are 2 formulas that work. Ladies?
I think going viral sometimes can actually hurt you. If you look at that guy, the Leave Britney Alone guy, he's known as that forever. Personally, I would prefer to grow slowly, organically, authentically, raw, real, and really create content, and maybe that takes longer than going viral.
Well, let me jump on this, and I think that's a tremendous point of view and something that I push hard. I will say this, I think that it comes down to how good you are.
Right.
So like, if Beyonce went viral at 16 off a video, but she actually had the chops, like now we get to find out what kind of chops she has.
Right.
So I've seen people go viral and stay because they're great.
They have staying power.
Sure, I watched Jerome, I watched Rudy, I watched Nicholas, I watched the whole Vine movement, and I was very close to all of Britney for a lot. I watched all their, we picked Logan Paul to win a contest, that's how he got his career started, in a contest we created here at VaynerMedia, so he went viral in that moment, but he had to have the skills to hold on to it.
Right.
So I think, look, tried and true, like at the end of the day, if you don't have the chops, if you don't have something to say, you're dead.
You're dead.
I think it's important to have the backlog of stuff. So when you have that moment, people will stay for what you're creating. So it's like, great.
So you felt that. You felt
Yeah.
a lot of people saying, so you had the moment, and this is all very recent. When did this
Yeah,
happen?
so this is 2 weeks ago.
Right. So
Yeah.
people came and they got to see all the stuff you did in the past. And they were like, wait a minute,
Exactly.
you're good.
Yeah.
And by
so
the way, I apologize to cut you off because I get yelled at for that. Like, I know. I'm not, I don't interview for a living. I bet you, I don't know this, I'm gonna actually text him and ask him. I bet you Casey probably even looked at that to make his decision for it to even have happened.
Yeah. And so I think it's super important to put yourself in a position where it's like, okay, you have the right context for maybe a viral video, but make sure, like, are you in a point in your career or life to where those people are gonna stay?
Right.
So.
Didn't you have something that someone told you about running a multi-million-dollar business? That you have to run a business like a multi-million-dollar business, even if you're not a multi-million-dollar?
No, I had some advice a long time ago.
kinda like
Guys,
being
I
viral.
was setting up a business, and the guy, I said, what do I do? Like, I have no idea. I'm just getting out of school. He says, set this business up. This is more had to do with accounting. He goes, set it up like it's a multi-million-dollar business so that you're prepared for when it gets there.
So do
So
that
it's
with your
there.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
that with
So,
your
like,
do that with
if
your
you think
social
you're gonna
media
have
presence.
a million viewers.
Set it up to go viral.
Set it up so that when you get those million viewers,
Yes.
they want to stand there like,
Yes.
wow, this is legit.
Like your content, you should be marketing like you're marketing to 10 million people.
As
in my
long
opinion.
as it's authentically true to you.
Yes.
I think the biggest mistake that people make is fake the funk, and I do it in a business context. You might have seen these characters, back to guys being jerk-offs. Like you have all these guys that are faking entrepreneur life, like they're winning, but it's not true to them. And so when I hear what you guys are saying, which is right advice, I just want to make sure everybody means as long as it's true.
Yes.
That means the behavior, not rolling like you did it or acting like you're already famous. Yeah.
Exactly.
India, keep us moving.
Nicole says, blogging since 2009. I know my target audience. I post regularly and promote on all social. Numbers won't budge. Thoughts?
My advice personally is to keep at it. Like it's something that I literally do 7 days a week. There is not one day that I've taken off in the last 5 years. You have to just crush it. You have to just keep.
Did you ever
hitting it.
get pushback to the word skinny? I mean, skinny is one of these new politically incorrect words like 3 years ago, and it's. You've wondered that? Yeah, great. So I'm answering the questions that it's interesting. You've been doing this for a while. I think you're actually in a better place where I don't think the word's as controversial. But 24 months ago, there was heat. Did you ever feel it?
All the time, but I like that. I like heat on me. The things I talk about on my blog are camel toes and boob jobs and vagina steaming and enemas. Like I could go on and on. I talk about really controversial, taboo subjects that no one wants to deal with. So having the word skinny in the title is really fitting for the brand.
Understood.
I mean, when you're talking about coconut lube, the word skinny just.
Coconut
Fits
oil
right
is
in.
amazing for lube, though. It really is.
I'm sure this is a tremendous show.
This is an experiment.
Everyone go home and try it. You will not be sorry. It's your birthday, D-Rock.
I think that there is one thing. I do think that there's the 3-4 years and then you have your moment. I mean, you look at it, it happens all the time in real life. Amy Schumer's career has been going on for a decade. She's been like, Kevin Hart was working at that shit for 12, 14, and you have your moment. The problem is, one thing that I want people to know is, it's not necessarily your numbers growing, it's how do you feel about it. Currently, my Snapchat numbers are not growing. I've hit my kind of 30,000 views, and I've been there for about a month. I feel fine with that because I feel like I'm getting better at it. I know what I want to do next. I know I've been studying on doing other things because the book has been coming out. Like, I feel content with myself even though that's against the numbers. Too many people, and this is, I'm sure, like something we all think about, you're gonna be thinking about it when you see the podcast numbers as you start this new venture. This market is absolutely way too deeply focused on numbers. Now, Nick and Demondo, like they're a platform, people buy on numbers. I get it. You make your short-term money on numbers. You make your short-term.
Not long game.
That's right. You make your short-term money on numbers. So I would say, who's the person again, India? Nicole. I would say if you feel like you're moving the needle, then and you feel like you're getting closer, if you can taste it, none of us can tell you, then you keep at it. If you're watching right now and you've been trying to build your brand for 24 months, 36 months, you felt completely stagnant, both in the numbers, both in the heat. You don't get recognized, less selfies, no mention, no friend even know you're doing it. If you feel stagnant, I actually compare this to wrestling. So stick with me. I don't know if I know you talk about coconut oil, but I'm gonna talk about WWF wrestling for a minute. When you look at gimmicks, right? Gimmicks is like when you're Mr. Perfect or the Red Rooster or what have you. There's a lot of wrestlers who have 3 or 4 gimmicks and then they become Stone Cold Steve Austin. And they've been 4 other things and it didn't take, but the new thing works. Now the difference there is that's a character. I could have stopped doing the wine thing and started a Jets thing and I could be on ESPN right now. Whatever, and then I did a business thing. I had 3 things that I could have probably done as me. Wine, business, and the Jets. Now I've done 2. I may become a sports writer. If you have other interests, if you're doing a blog about root beer or about skateboarding, but you're also into clothes or jam or rollerblading, if you feel very stagnant for 2 or 3 years, your system and your thing might be right, but your topic may be wrong to you. It may not be that moment in time. So that's another version to think about this if you feel in your heart and numbers a 24, 36 month stagnant, because I do see people, I know people right now, because I've been doing this since '06, who've been doing the same thing for 7, 8 years, and there's nothing that's gonna
Talent.
happen.
You always talk about talent.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
And interaction. I think interaction with people.
It is real that you have to have talent. If you don't have talent in this industry, I think you are going to get washed away. So you have to know who you are, like you said. Like you have to remain authentic to yourself. And if you think you have talent to be a blogger, then blog every damn day.
How long were you doing YouTube before this moment?
I started YouTube in like 2012, and then I was consistent this past August. And so I think you have.
What made you? What happened in August that made you get really going?
I was like, I want to build a business someday, and I know having an audience is valuable. And so I just started with travel vlogs. I love filmmaking. I love making videos.
Yep.
And so it wasn't hard for me because I love doing it. And I also think that interaction with people is so important. You can look at the numbers all day, but who is like mentioning you on Twitter? Who is retweeting things? Who is favoriting things? And maybe
Is Twitter an important platform for you?
Yes, it has been so interactive. I only have about 5,000 followers, but everyone is so interactive, and it's an awesome way to meet.
Do you interact with your YouTube comments?
Yes, okay, so glad you asked that question, because when I had 3,000 followers, I made it a habit to comment to every single comment. Every single comment. It's hard to do it now.
It's so crazy to watch you guys spur up from all the theses that I wrote 7, 8 years ago. It's so crazy.
I know. I read Crush It like recently, and I was like, holy shit, he predicted the future. Yeah. It is weird. Yeah. It is weird.
I'm telling you, I read that influencer chapter today in your new book, and it's refreshing to have somebody with such a loud voice say it, because it's what we have been thinking and working on and saying for 5, 6 years now.
Sure.
Tell them about what happened recently to me on a shoot, because you'll appreciate
Well, this kind of
this.
goes into like influencer marketing as well. A brand recently brought her on to offer her voice and her perspective, and it was a video thing, 4 videos, 30 seconds.
Yep.
They brought her in and they said, hey, you're going to stick to this script, you're going to do this thing. It had 15 people on set. They completely got away from her voice, and it was kind of like,
what's the point?
what's
Why
the
do you
point
want
here?
me if
But
you're
you know,
not gonna let me
I
have
got
my
fired
voice?
up about it because I said this brand's on its way out.
No, it's on its way
and
out,
And it made me
because-
fired up for her because her brand's.
I know. I don't.
So
wanna
what
do-
happened? Did you do it?
No, I did it. I did the script. I did what they said. But the point is they could have hired a model or an actress to just read it. They don't need a
What was the
blogger. I'll
point
never
of
do it
using
again.
Her voice
Ever.
and trying to get her audience, and
If they're not going to use my voice.
they had 15 people on there. We produced 6 of those videos in 3 hours with 3 of us.
They micromanage everything. I think brands need to let the influencer do what they do best.
Well, look what with Daily V. Like, it's literally D-Rock and Gary V. Like, and it works, you know? You don't have 5 people following you around.
The curated thing's out. I think it's on its way. So out. It's so done. It's
Well,
raw,
the
authentic.
bigger issue is that the people that follow you know that's not you.
Yes,
Exactly.
And that's why I don't want to do it.
and that's
It
why
turns
there's
them
no
off.
that's right, and there's no money that they can pay you
Yep.
that makes it worth it for you.
Yep.
I mean, I had early deals for Wine Library TV before this was a real thing, and a car company wanted me to drive a car into Wine Library, and it was so wild. It was so early days, and I was like, and it was a lot of money at the time, and I didn't do it because even then, back in 07, 08, I was just like, I think people are gonna be like, forget it. Like Gary sold out. That was so scary.
I don't see
It's so
working
different
a lot
now.
with brands.
I don't.
It's a little bit more accepted now, but we refuse to sell ad space on the site. You go to the site, there's no.
Now, forget. By the way, if I grew up during this time, I would have done it. Like back then, it was just so. There was not a single video on YouTube that had 1 million views when I started. Like it was just I mean, this was 2006. How old were you in 2006?
I was in 6th grade.
Yeah. So like, you know what I mean? Like it was a different world. India, keep us moving. Can you see it?
Hi Gary, I'm Piper Reese from Piper's Picks TV, and I'm here at the 2016 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards Orange Carpet. So I've done over 700 interviews since I was 7 years old. And I've also been pitching a scripted TV show concept. Eventually I want to expand to an online TV network sort of thing. So I want your advice on how to monetize. Where do I go from here, and when can I interview you?
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
That is. So Piper, I'll save you a ton of time. Let's do it ASAP. Tell me where you're at. Get to New York. Call me. Actually, sorry, Piper. Text me. That was amazing. What do you guys think about that?
I think that when she talks about how to monetize, I think the short game is to go for brands. The long-term game would to be continue her hosting on YouTube, push it on her platforms, and maybe even grow it into like sort of a brand where she has a clothing line. I mean, she's adorable. She has red hair, which is different. She could do something with that. So I think there's
Make her own little
ways for her
network.
to monetize.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
And I also think right now, you know, it's not about the ads, the pre-roll ads. It's about what are brands like who are the brands that want to work with you and that makes sense with your brand?
Right.
You know, if you have hoverboards sponsor a video, no one's gonna care. But if you really
They sponsored them all.
yeah. So, you know, find things that work with your brand and integrate it into your content. Don't, you know.
I think I will definitely have you on the show. You'll interview me, and during that show, I'll give you much more detailed answers because it's really predicated on your situation. I don't know the financial situation of your parents or your situation. There's so many things. Like, I hate giving general advice when there's an opportunity to give specific advice. So since we're going to be hanging out, I'll go there. I think the longer you can wait, the more you will make if you've got the talent. And so I think that's the real key. I think the other thing is, you know, I noticed all the things you had there. If I were you, I would aggressively start looking at Musical.ly. I don't know what you guys are doing with Musical.ly, if either one of you are on it, but I think that is the absolute platform of junior high right now, and it seems like that would be a very smart place for you to go. So I would continue to be first mover in new places, because I think you're at such a young age where that could be a big, big, big advantage. Supply and demand is differently on Musical.ly than it is on Snapchat, Instagram, or YouTube. So we'll have specific advice for you, Piper, very soon. That was cool. All right, now you guys, what do you got?
Okay, I was thinking of questions and I pretty much know all of the answers that you would, say. So, I've been watching your stuff for a year. So I'll give you a question that a lot of people had was, if they're trying to start a YouTube channel, in your opinion, how do you break through all of the stuff that is on there right now?
I mean, we've talked about it, you know the answer. Talent is the variable. I really do think self-awareness, it's why I put it on the cover of this book, is super important. You know, I spent a lot of time, like there was 3 things I could have started with, and I went with wine because I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to leave the wine business right away. I had a business to run, and so it was the most kind of like integrated thing that I could do. So you've gotta think about your subject matter. It has to be true to you. All of us have multiple things that are true to us. So I would sit down and first say, what do I actually know? I know how to be a 13-year-old. I know the 13-year-old's point of view on technology. Then I would go to YouTube and I would see how many people are winning the 11 to 15-year-old technology point of view content game. If there's nobody, I would say, and there's almost nobody, there's somebody for everything almost, but if there's not that many people or nobody really owning it, that's interesting. Versus, I also am a great skateboarder, oh crap, there's 97,000 people doing skateboarding. So first and foremost, I would look for the white space. Number 2, I do think that YouTube's a very difficult game, and I do think that whether it's Snapchat, though that's about to become very difficult as well, I'm gonna say it again, Musical.ly, or anything else that pops, I think using other social networks, white space, to drive awareness and attention matters. And then finally, I mean, we gave this question early on, I do think the blueprint of what you did with Casey, or if you've got a couple of bucks and you can run ads against, you know, people that are skateboard fans on Facebook, there is tactical things that can speed up your process. I do think influencers are the way to go. I think Piper, recalling it all the way back, should absolutely spend all her, if she loves it, spend all her time going to every Instagram account, every YouTuber, every Twitter account, and replying to people and saying, can I interview you? That's probably what she's doing if she's interviewed so many people. And the truth is, one more ask is one more at bat. So I would see that.
And something to that, all of the things that 70% of the stuff that I've done on my YouTube channel is about other people. And so like series like Creative Space TV or anything, it's all about going to other people.
You're siphoning people's audience.
Exactly, and I'm leveraging other people's
100%
audience for me. And I promote it.
By the way, and I haven't looked enough, but I'm gonna make some assumptions here. Everybody does that. It's, you have to be good at it.
Yeah.
Like what you clearly have done is you brought value to, you know, when I put stuff out, and I rarely do it, it's because somebody sings a book review of mine and kills it. You know, like it's somebody that has to bring value. Like if you've got a big audience, everybody's trying to get to you, everybody's trying to siphon your fans and, you know, link bait you. It's, can you bring value to that community and to that person?
You know, it's funny, that's how she started. She started interviewing models, Instagram.
Of course.
My whole platform has been not competing, collaborating.
Yeah, it's huge.
Of course, when you're starting from the bottom, you absolutely either need money, you need an absolute unbelievable skill set of talent, or you need to siphon awareness from other places. But too many people like hit up people like, hey, you have 1 million followers on Twitter, can you give me a shout out? No.
What kind of value are you offering now?
100%, and really not even like structuring like, and not the email that says, what can I do for you to do this for me? It's just doing it, and then like, you didn't you didn't text Casey and say, hey, I'm gonna do this for you.
Yeah.
Like you did it.
Yeah, and I had 4,000 people who really cared about me because I had built that relationship with my YouTube audience for years. And so when at the end of the video, I was like, all right, guys, let's tweet this to Casey. Let's get it to him. People were stoked about it.
Jace Norman, the Nickelodeon star, did the same thing to me. Like all of a sudden I just got on a plane and had like 7,000 tweets from the Norman Maniacs or whatever. All right, your question.
Okay, my question is, when did you decide to build and why your personal brand instead of focusing on other people's brands? So like, how did you decide to just put all your eggs in this basket as opposed to kind of putting your eggs in a bunch of different baskets?
For me, it's because I'm actually a business operator. Like I built a big wine retail and e-commerce business before I became Gary Vee. I mean, don't forget, very different than you guys and most of people's tracks now. I was 30 years old and had built a business before I ever made my first video. I didn't grow up in this generation.
Wow.
If I did, I probably would have. I probably wouldn't have, we'd probably be laughing right now and showing videos of baseball card kid, Gary, it's like a 15-year-old saying, buy the Frank Thomas rookie card. Like I just didn't grow up in that era. And so for me, I'm the reason I could build VaynerMedia and the reason I don't, just live off of being me, like I always say, like I'm the CEO of VaynerMedia. I run businesses. I'm a venture capitalist who plays Gary Vee at times. I like this. Like I think it's important. It brings opportunity, but it's at the end of the day, in my purest form, I'm a businessman much more than I am a personality. And so what VaynerMedia did for me was it scales my marketing skill set to deploy against people or brands or my own brands. I want to buy brands in the future, so that's kind of my play on that.
Love it.
Yeah, I think for everybody, you need to really think about how you want to monetize this. Are you going to deploy it against a product? Like, I had a deal from Target and CAA to do a wine glass that I probably would have been millions of dollars on. It would have been in every Target store. It would have been the big wine glass. It would have been the product this season. I didn't feel like I could vig the outcome. And let me break this down. This is gonna be the most valuable part of things. The place where you want to make your money is the place where you think you have the most control, not where you can make the most money.
That's great advice.
And it's something that I haven't really talked about, so I'm glad. I feel like we got to something.
We've kind of been battling that on the blog. Because
can you like elaborate on
Keep
this?
going.
Okay.
Books are an interesting place that I play in. It's one of the places I monetize because I can control it. I sell the books, not HarperCollins, not Amazon, not Barnes & Nobles, me. I can dictate it. Doing a sponsorship deal with a wine glass, like at that point I wasn't big enough to feel that I was gonna drive thousands, if not tens of thousands of people into Target to buy it. Maybe 1,000, maybe 3,000, but not enough for Target to care if that was the only people that bought it. So what you wanna do is always set yourself up in a place where the outcome is impressive to whoever you collaborate with or the market. Right? So like if you can sell your own music direct to consumer digitally and you get 1 million downloads and you did it, well now you have leverage. And so everything's about leverage. And what happens is too many people take the short-term money and what happens is then there's a result. There's too many, for example, I won't call them out because I don't like negativity, but there's 12 to 15 social media experts who get paid to speak and get paid to consult, whose books sold 2,000-3,000 copies. If you're so good at social media marketing, then wouldn't have you done that to sell your book? And so these conversations are happening behind the scenes, not publicly. I won't throw them out like other people, but there's people not hiring them or they have them as a C-class citizen because they're like, well, look at their book scan numbers. Like, I sold over 100,000 copies of my book the first week.
Wow.
And that's a very big difference from people, and by the way, if I list some of the names of the people that I'm referring to, for a lot of people that follow social media, they're like, oh yeah, Gary's kind of like that guy, or that girl's kind of like Gary. No, we're not. Like, they didn't build $100 million business. They didn't sell 100,000. Like, and so for me, I have the audacity and bravado is because what I preach is also what I use to create results. You guys, I mean, look, you guys are living it, and you think I'm doing the right stuff, and I'm an old dude, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
I'm doing Snapchat right. I'm doing vlog
I think
right.
it tells us like our ship's in the right direction. Because I mean, there's a lot of people when we first started, they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you taking these pictures? Like,
It is cool that you're this age and you know how to do social media.
Listen, it's I'm almost dead, and like I'm like.
Aren't you the only social media expert that's ever been on the New York Times bestseller?
No, I'm sure there's others, and I don't really even know what where the line is of social media expert or what have you. But look, I have real results. Like this book is, we just found, oh, thank you, that's a good segue. Guys, thank you so much. Just found out yesterday, it's coming out in a week or two. You know, Ask Gary Vee made the New York Times best-selling list. So it's like 4 books that have done it. But way more, thank you. But that's like a weird like list where a lot of things are weighted. It's how many I sold, right? Like I had a great conversation with my editor yesterday. I'm a free agent now and I can go to any publisher, what have you. And I'm like, look, I didn't get number 1, which is what we wanted, right? I think it's number 6 on the list. I said, she's like, oh, this is bullshit. She was like mad she wanted to be higher because it's an algorithm, not just copies sold. I said, don't cry for me. I'm like, you're not giving me my next deal based on if I was number 1 or number 6. You're giving me the next deal based on how many were sold. Right. You made $3 million in revenue. Like that, you know, like that's what, so I think you have to know what your North Star is. All right, any question you like. This is a bunch of marketing people, business people, entrepreneurs. This would be a smart time to ask a question that you might get value from Facebook and YouTube.
Okay. You go first.
Okay, where do you guys see Snapchat in the next 2 to 3 years?
Great question.
Do you guys think Twitter is dead? Because I'm really liking it still.
Really good questions. Guys, thank you for being on the show. My man.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for educating the women of America.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, one more thing. I'm giving out 3 Ask Gary Vee books, so find me on Twitter. Retweet my pinned tweet.
I'm giving out 3 on Snapchat.
I'm giving out 4. You keep asking questions, we will keep answering it.